everyone, welcome back to my class. This is Mehjabin Fatima, Commerce lecturer at Ahlebeth High School and Junior College. So our last topic of this chapter is SEBI, that is Securities and Exchange Board of India. Basically, SEBI was introduced in the year 1988 and the date was 12 April, and at that time it was just introduced but it didn't get legal status. Afterwards it got its legal status and it was to function under control of Ministry Finance. Then again it was given a statutory status, that is legal status, on 30th January 1992 through the ordinance, and then it became an act. Now let's see what are the objectives of SEBI. Let's see what is the reason behind introducing such an organization or a body where Company Act is already working, and then why do we require SEBI? So to answer this, there are some objectives of SEBI. That is, first objective is to protect the investors, that is first objective is to protect interest of investors. So at that time trading structure was developing and was at initial basis. So people were learning about trading, how to invest in stocks, what are the shares, what are debentures, etc. So at that time there were huge chances of fraud and malpractices. As well. Currently everything is working online and we are having everything as computerized, but at that time online system was not there. So due to which there were huge chances of fraud and malpractices. So in order to overcome those malpractices and fraud, SEBI has been introduced. Our another objective is to regulate stock exchanges. Obviously when we are buying or selling anything in the market, we need some rules, right? So we must require some rules and regulations in order to run the market. Those rules will regulated by the SEBI. So the work of SEBI here is to make the rules and to regulate those rules. Our another objective is to prevent trading malpractices. Here we can take example of insider trading. For example, I am a person who is working in a company where I am a manager, or we can say that I am a employee. So what happens is I will be having the internal knowledge of that company, and what I am doing here is I am telling to my friend that company is going to invest its money in a place where it can get huge amount, so that you can also buy the shares of the company, and when the company will get huge amount you can also exceed your money. So here what I am doing is I am giving the internal information of the company to my friend where he can invest his money and he can earn in the future. So that is also a malpractice. This insider trading is called as malpractice. So to overcome with these malpractices and frauds, SEBI will keep its eye. And our last objective is to develop a code of conduct and fair practices by intermediaries. So intermediaries here are the brokers and traders who help in trading. Therefore there are chances that these intermediaries will also do fraud with the company. So SEBI will look after these intermediaries, and these intermediaries need to be registered so that SEBI can look after them. So these were the objectives of SEBI. Now let's see what are the functions of SEBI. So basically the functions of SEBI has been divided into three types, that is protective, development and regulatory. So this is very important topic, students. So you must focus on these functions. First function of SEBI is protective function, that is to protect the investors' interest, as we have discussed. Now under protective function again SEBI work has been divided, that is prohibition of unfair practices. So if there are any unfair practices, the work of SEBI is to prohibit those practices. And controlling insider trading, as I have told you just now, what do you mean by insider trading? So to control that insider trading, SEBI will work. And promotion of fair practices, that means everything should have transparency, everything should be transparent or crystal clear. And the last protective function is undertaking steps for investors protection. So we have discussed that SEBI will look after the interest of investors. Now development function again has been divided into three types, that is training of employees. So the work of SEBI here is to train the intermediaries and conducting research and publishing info. So whatever the research is there, that must be conducted and that information must be passed. And last one is undertaking measurements to develop capital markets. So whatever the measurements are required to develop capital markets, that all must be undertaken by the SEBI. Now let's see the regulatory functions of SEBI, that is the registration of brokers and sub-brokers. So both brokers and sub-brokers have to be registered, as well as registration of mutual funds. Mutual funds whatever are there, they should be also registered. Registration of takeover of the company. If the company is taking over another company, then that registration must also be there. And last one is undertaking inspection or inquiry, means to inspect or to inquire about the things, about the malpractices or about the registration, etc. So these were the functions of SEBI. I hope you understood it very well. Let's continue our next chapter in next class. Thank you.